Do you have team issues? Well, you get to know the 5 stages of team development if you're going to get through any of those problems that you may be having. So I'm going to teach you just that, and you can use it for your projects and everything else that includes a team. Hi, welcome. My name is Ace, and you can call me Sir Ace for short. And I am a process sensitive person. Did you know that? You can call a person like that when you see them as accommodating, assertive, perfectionist, very conscientious, until you perceive him as intimidating. But that was before. Now that I learned those character traits might endanger my relationship with my friends and colleagues, so now I call myself a work in progress for a change of heart. Every team has definitive stages that they go through, and what I'm going to be sharing with you is the Tuckman model, which are the 5 stages of team development. I've been doing this for a long time. SSG officer for 4 years in high school, and academic club officer again for 4 years in college, and even in my 3 years in the world of work. And I find it over and over again. These stages of group development are true. So I'm going to share with you what they are so that you can have an awesome team. Stage 1, forming stage. So everyone's got together, everyone's polite. This is where people are kind of hanging back, seeing what the norm are. People are not going to present new ideas. Everyone is agreeable at this stage. It's quite lovely. It's kind of like when you are meeting someone for the very first time. Everyone's on their best behavior. In this stage, work is not the main focus here. You just want to become more familiarized, and you just want to build some basic relationship. If you were thinking about team building or icebreaker, you got it right. As a leader, you are guiding everyone in this direction. So it is the forming of the team, and we are filling each other out at this particular stage. Stage 2, storming stage. Alright, you just got out of forming stage. People are now going to start showing their own leadership styles, working attitudes. There may be some conflict popping up. People may have hidden agendas because they're getting more comfortable. It becomes a really interesting stage. You may even find that team members are challenging the person of authority who are actually trying to drive the teams to a different direction, or maybe just because their leaders forgetting the members' involvement in the decision making. So it is very important stage that you address what you need to address. So if you are managing the team or the leader of the team, then you get to call the attention of a neutral member or your moderator in the room, okay? And you have to say exactly what is it that is really happening, okay? So enough with personal biases. A lot of teams get stuck at this stage. And why? Because they are afraid to hurt people's feelings or to challenge the room. Okay? Again, they are afraid to hurt people's feelings. I promise you, you will stay in this stage if you don't call out someone's hidden agenda, poor behavior, or if their working style is clashing with everybody else, then you really are going to have problems. And your project may not even finish. So don't be afraid. The stage is normal. In fact, expect it, okay? Now that I think anyone is here, okay, I have to say, okay, we are forming right now. You guys are awesome. We're going to go through storming. Just know we're all one team, okay? One UAC. We'll get through it together. Just learn to communicate with each other. Remember to speak with kindness at all times, okay? The third stage of Tachman model is norming. Okay, so you've gone from forming to storming, and now norming is coming. The clouds have parted. Oh, how awesome is that? So people have gotten well from that sickness. They're now starting to realize something about working as a team. They're very aware of their own activities, and they are going ahead in doing them. Okay, so if you're the president or mayor of this team, well, then guess what? You have less work to do because everyone's taking ownership. Everyone is starting to understand the end goal and realizing that together they are really going to move forward towards it in a much easier way. So this is a lovely stage, the norming part, and you're really starting to learn instead of what are the negatives, what are the positives of us, start to come through, and people start to attract to that and move forward with that, which is a lovely, lovely thing. Now your performing mode. Does it stay there forever? Just so you know, if you add a new person, you change something in the scope or something in the timeline, you tend to go back and repeat the stages. Now the good news is you can quickly go through them again and get back into performing, but you will go back, have a little bit of the fever because you have that shift. Something new was introduced and you can get back there. The stage 4 of the Tuckman model is performing. I'm telling you, this is the most amazing part if you're ever leading a team to be in this stage. It doesn't always happen, interestingly enough. This is like the clouds have parted, angels coming down, harps are playing. It is beautiful. Everyone together is synced. In fact, people stop thinking of themselves as individuals and really start thinking of themselves as part of a collective group. People start helping other people, even though they are less capable of helping. They will still take on extra tasks. Why? Because they understand the bottom line. They get what we have to work together as a team. And we need to ensure we do it collectively, and you actually start to have a lot of fun. Some great friendships and connections starts to develop here because you're acting as one unit. It is a blast. When I'm on teams and we're in performing mode, I love it. Stage 5, adjourning. Sometimes we don't talk about this stage enough, okay? So we just kind of talk about the first 4 stages. But this stage is an interesting one from the perspective you are closing things off. Are you remembering some of the clubs or SSG farewell party? Okay? People are now departing. And if you were performing for a very long time, there is some sadness that you are not going to be with these people constantly like you were before. And you have such a great rapport and working relationship, and you've got so much done that there is a sadness for sure. Did you know someone like former officer visiting your offices, no? Your ates and kuyas, alumni, no? Wanting to join your activities. Those who are still commenting on your posts in our activities. That must be one of the effect of depriving your team from a farewell party. So give yourself a little bit of breathing room, help your team out, maybe do a celebration, which would be a real cool thing. Okay, acknowledge all the great work people have done and realize that that's normal to feel that way. Okay, so if things are going great, you are going to be a little bit sad. No doubt about it. If things were not going great, you've been in storming, you're going to be happy to get out of that position or just resign, no? But we're not going to go there, all right? Because I know you're going to get everyone to performing stage. Okay, so that is what a journey is all about. Okay, so itong stages of group development, according to Tuckman, it is much easier to go through with the storming stage if we communicate well with other members of the team, no? And if you are not are going to discard all the biases, so you focus on what is important and what is urgent at the moment, no? So I think even if you don't know these stages, but it actually exists, no? And you can see, or maybe you can experience that already, that it is happening in all teams, no? Kaya lang may iba na nade-delay dun sa performing, okay? Or baka yung iba naman still on the first stage, or maybe others are already advancing to later stages. Okay. But again, ang sinasabi doon na pwedeng bumalik yung stage, bumalik kayo doon sa first stage when it comes to there's a new member, there's a change, okay? You can go through it pa din kasi nadaanan nyo na yun. And for the adjourning part, we have this thing, we call it clinicking. When we do regular clinicking, we discuss all the comments and suggestions from the evaluation of the activity, and then we discuss also what are the things that we need to improve for the next activity. So if you do regular clinicking, everyone will be recognized kung ano yung magagandang nagagawa nila, kung ano yung mga na-appreciate ng mga students. We do regular clinicking using the evaluation results. So that's why it is important to have an evaluation every after the activity, so that it will become your basis for improving your future activity. So I hope I wish you good luck, no, in your teams. And again, hindi lang ito dun sa officers, hindi lang ito dun sa pagiging student leader, no. This model can also be used to understand your teams or groups that is formed for academic purposes, no? For example, research. Nangyayari lang sa research, nandun sa storming, after that, hindi na nakaka-advance for the next stage, because they focus so much on the problem and not on the solution. So again, it is important to focus on what is important and what is urgent. You should make it as your first priority.